Alright, what we're doing today is the AC compressor on my wife's 2011 Toyota Sienna locked up. If you remember back about 8 months ago, I replaced this compressor. The issue it had then was it would not cool and the pressure was low. And so the readings were low, so I talked to some people and we kind of concluded that the compressor must be failing and not building up enough pressure. Replaced the compressor, and that did not fix the issue. The issue ended up being a plugged condenser, which a plugged condenser will normally, it'll show high readings. Well, the reason it didn't show high readings is the service port, the high pressure service port on this car is after the condenser. So we did, theoretically, I guess, we did have high pressure between the compressor and the plug and the condenser. We just couldn't read it. We were reading the pressure after the condenser, and so since that plug was there, it was causing low pressure on the other side of the plugged condenser. So, at that time I did the 2 expansion valves on it. I did the condenser and a new compressor, and so basically almost a new, except for the lines, pretty much a new AC system. This thing failed. It locked up, and it's still locked. You can turn it, about like that. That's all it'll turn. So we're gonna need to pull it out. Amazon, I contacted Amazon. They said it was after their return period. Outside of their return period time. I think they give you 90 days, and I explained to them, hey, if I reached out to customer service, hey, if I go buy this thing at AutoZone, they were telling me it had a 1-year warranty, but I had to go through the manufacturer, and I know how that's going to go. I'm going to have to send them this compressor, and then they will, I'll have to send it, I'll be out the shipping cost to send the compressor to the manufacturer. They'll review over it. Maybe a month later I may get a new compressor. Well, I can't be without this car for a month. It's my wife's car. It's right now the only vehicle we have. We've got 6 people in our family. It's the only one we've got that'll fit all of us. The Mercedes can only seat 5, so it's fine, if I'm taking the kids to school or picking them up or whatever. But if we're all going somewhere, me, my wife, and kids, we need to be able to sit 6 people. And the Suburban's out of commission, so we've been relying on the Sienna, and now the AC's out. So we're gonna go ahead. Amazon, after explaining to them, hey, if I bought this compressor from AutoZone or somewhere, I don't have to go to the manufacturer to get warranted. I take the compressor back to AutoZone and they give me a new one. So Amazon told me they would go ahead and give me a new one, and so they started the process to ship the new one here, and it was out of stock. And so at that point, they offered to just refund the cost of the compressor because they weren't sure when the new one would be in. So I can't wait forever to try to get a new one, and anywhere else is more expensive. I didn't check Rock Auto, but anywhere local is like $450 for this compressor, and I paid $309 from Amazon for it. And it's a genuine Denso, brand new, wasn't rebuilt or anything. It had to have had some kind of a manufacturing defect in it. It did not make any noise. It cooled perfectly. Everything was working great, and all of a sudden it just locked up. So I'm not sure what happened to it, but we do still have the original one that came off this car that is in good shape. It should be just fine. I put the little service port plugs from the new compressor when I swapped it out, put those on the old compressor, so it's been sealed, sitting here in the shop. So we're gonna put that old compressor that's got over 100,000 miles on it and it's 7 years old, but it was working okay. We're gonna put that back in here, and hopefully it lasts. It's lasted this long, so hopefully it'll be okay. The Suburban still has its original AC compressor, It's what, 15 years old and over 200,000 miles on it. My 99 Toyota 4Runner, when I sold it, it still had the original AC compressor and all that, and it was what, 330,000 miles in I don't know how many years. I sold it a few years ago, so anyway, so we're gonna go ahead and swap this out. Since I did a video on this already, I'm not gonna go in depth on this. I'm gonna turn up the music, and which means you're gonna have to turn off y'all's audio. So I'm just gonna set up the time lapse, and we are going to go ahead and get this thing swapped out, and hopefully pretty quickly, because I need to get back on that. So enjoy some music while y'all watch me take care of this. We are done. AC is blowing ice cold now. I don't know where my other little plug is. I don't really need it, but new condenser. Here's the old one. This one was the brand new one when we put the compressor in 8 months ago. Unfortunately, once these things fail, you can flush them. Not a parallel flow. You will never get all the metal shrapnel out. And that's what I poured out of the compressor. So all that is in the condenser as well. Like I said, you can't flush it out. So I did flush the rest of the system, and then we put a new condenser on it. And condenser was like $65 on Amazon. It's crazy how cheap you can get similar stuff on Amazon compared to regular part stores, because that condenser is like $200 or $300 if I go buy it at local parts store, and that compressor is $450. So, and of course a new belt, because this one got smoked. It's a little bit sticky. You can see it really, this belt's only 8 months old and it really took a beating. It got really hot. You can see this, that's metal, or not metal, that's belt chunk, where it slung it pieces of belt and it got on the back side of it. So I put a new one in it. Not worth, I got to take it off anyway to do this. So blowing cold. I don't know if you can still see it's fogged up. Man, I did not want to focus on that. See it? There we go. Anyway, so we're done. Hopefully this compressor lasts. Like I said, I flushed it completely. I added oil to the compressor, added oil to the rest of the system, and then we pulled a vacuum on it and charged it. I pulled a vacuum for like 45 minutes, and then we let it sit for a minute or a few minutes, and then started putting Freon in it. So it's blowing cold, compressor's nice and quiet, so I think we should be good, and hopefully this one lasts longer than the new one we put on it 8 months ago that failed. So like I said, we've got the original one to the car back on here, and we'll see. Just a point of note, the one from Amazon, they were both Denso. The new one I bought from Amazon 8 months ago was a Denso, as well as the original one. The original one is made in USA. The one from Amazon was made in Japan. So I don't know. There's a difference there. I feel like the one from 8 months ago was just a defective compressor, and it was defective from new, and then it just took 8 months for it to fail. So hopefully this one, it was working fine. Hopefully it holds up and we get a lot more use out of it. I don't want to do this again. Thanks for watching. If you like what you saw, give me a thumbs up, and leave a comment down below, and to see more, subscribe. Thanks.